Here is my brand new 2025 Kohler Highline Arc versus the American Standard Champion 4 from 2008. Here are the tank parts. For the Highline Arc, all of the tank parts are original. That is it for this one. And for the Champion 4, obviously the tank parts are replacement except for the handle, since the handle is the only original part. Anyways, let's give it a flush and see which one you like better. I'm going to say I actually like the Champion 4 better because it has a larger trapway and a stronger flush. Well, let's see which one does better on the tests. For the first test, let's see how it does with a garbage bag. I used to do garbage bag tests for the last test, but since both toilets are performing very good, let's do a garbage bag first and see how it does. Well, it took it with a struggle. Let's see how the Champion 4 does to see if it does any better or if it does worse than this. And it took it as well. So I will say it is a tie since both toilets took it. Now to the next test and see which toilet does better. For the next test, let's see how it does with 8 paper towels on both toilets. But please do not try this at home, which is inside toilets, because it can clog your pipes, sewer, and mess up the plumbing, and it can cost a lot of money to repair it. But anyways, let's see how it does. And looks like it took it without any problems. Let's see how the Champion 4 does. And did the same thing as the Highline Arc, which means it took it without problems, so it is a tie. Now to the next test. For the next test, let's see how it does with a grocery bag and a microfiber towel. This is a big test and not many toilets can pass it, so the reason why I'm doing this test is because both toilets are good performers, but let's see how it does. And it got clogged in the trapway opening. Here's the second flush for whatever is water left in the tank. And it's not moving. It failed, but it did not clog too hard. Let's see how the Champion 4 does to see if it does better or if it clogs. Well, as you saw, the Champion 4 has won that test. Now to the next test. For the next test, let's say it can take 2 toilet paper plastic wrappers, but this time they're big ones. But let's hold down the handle. Looks like it struggled a little bit, but it took it. Now let's see how the Champion 4 does, to see if it does better or if it clogs. Ready for the longest flush of a Champion 4? Here's a flush. Handle held down. And both toilets took it, which is a tie. And then it's pretty cool how I hold down the handle on the Champion 4 so it can have the longest flush possible. And that is because I replaced the flush valve, because the Champion 4 flush valve was sitting way too high. It was like this high, which is why I replaced it, to give it a longer flush. But anyways, Now to the last test of the video. For the last test of the video, let's see if we can take a grocery bag, microfiber towel, and the microfiber rag together. Of course, I'm going to hold down the handle because it is a big test, and only 1 or 2 of my toilets can take it. But let's see how it does. And it is clogged. I'm going to give it a second flush after the tank is full. Flush 2. Let's see if it unclogs itself. I'm actually surprised that it did not overflow. Well, it did not do good on that test, but again, this is a big test, and as I said before, 1 or 2 toilets can take it. But let's see how the Champion 4 does to see if it does any better. And it is clogged. I'm going to give it a second flush after the tank is full to see if that makes a difference. Flush 2. Let's see if it unclogs itself. And I don't think it's going anywhere. Not surprised it failed that because it is an awfully big test. So what I can conclude these tests is I'm going to say the Champion 4, that toilet right there, is a better performer. And I like the flushes on these since I changed the flush valve. And I actually like the Highline Arc, which is the one on the left, because the siphon power is it's like very good. When I use my hand to get the water out, I'll show you what I mean. Watch this. It actually siphons, which is very surprising. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and comment and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.